and welcome. It is Thrive Thursday. I have a question for you. Do you ever get overwhelmed with all of the things that you need to do to grow your business? I bet if you're human, the answer is yes. So I wanted to make this video today for you because I can't tell you how many times I am in the chats and my team is in the chats. And the number one challenge that we hear over and over and over again is overwhelm. And it's such a common phenomena that we deal with in our society today that I wanted to share with you 3 ways you can get out of overwhelm fast. Now, hey, if we're meeting for the first time, if you're new to the Coaches and Holistic Practitioners Who Change Your World Facebook group, my name is Charlotte Jacobs. I'm the co-founder of Thrive Academy, where with my husband and business partner, we have had over 10,000 people come to our live event, the Client Attraction Summit, in the past almost 17 years. Hey, and we've been called the #1 source for turning coaches and holistic practitioners into 6-figure transformational leaders. And so I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And I'm going to make this quick because, hey, if overwhelm is an issue, then being here is like, I want to make it really, really worth your time. So I want to first talk about the symptoms of overwhelm, like why overwhelm is a symptom of something else. So what is it a symptom of? It's generally a symptom of trying to do too much too fast and not having a backup plan. So trying to do too much too fast and not having a backup plan. And this is specifically when I'm talking about growing your business as a coach or a holistic practitioner. By the way, I would love to know a little bit about what do you find when you take a look at overwhelm in your life? Like, what are the things that are happening for you? What are you trying to do that seems to be too much too fast? Let me know in the chat. I'm very, very curious in the comments here. Because one of the things that, like, when we really take a look at what does it take to launch your business, the reality is that there are many skill sets that you need to cultivate and you need to learn them. And you not just need to learn them, but you need to do them well. And, you know, you can make a mistake, you can have an error, and it can cause everything else to go sideways and make it so much harder for you. So these are some, you know, this is some of what happens. Like, let's suppose, like if I was going to create a plan for you and it was like, okay, these are the things we need to have in place before you even start trying to get clients. We need to get your client attraction code statement as the very first thing that you do. So that means we need to break that down into all 5 steps. You need to find your niche, the who you help, the urgent problem you solve. You need to get clear on your positioning. Which of the 17 credibility builders are you going to use to share about why you're credible and why people should work with you? You need to create your hero's journey story. You need to, figure out just how to do the basic what do you do statement. And then we need to put it all together. That process alone generally takes people 30 to 60 days. And if you're out there trying to do things to get clients before you actually do that work, all of that getting client stuff is going to be overwhelming because you're not going to get results. You're going to be doing a lot of things, taking a lot of action. You're going to be busy, but you're not going to get much done. So that was just an example. And I might have just shared that with you when you might have went like, wait a minute. What do I need to do with all of this? So let me, I'm going to give you one question that you can ask yourself to get out of overwhelm fast before I get into more content here. The question is, what is the most important thing that I could do to move me closer to getting a client right now? What is the most important thing I need to do to move me closer to getting a client right now? Now, sometimes that is, you know what, sister, you got to get up, get your butt out there and actually write that post you were going to write, or send that email, or make that call, or ask for that referral, whatever it is. So that is a question that can help you get out of overwhelm. Like when I look at, and I'm just going to tell you now, don't compare yourself to me. I own a multi-million-dollar business. I'm doing different things to grow our business and attract clients than you are. But just personally, when I look at my to-do list for the day and some things that I've got going on today, I already have a plan. But there are times when I sit down at my desk and especially when we've been having a lot of power outages here, like I lost yesterday morning and this morning, and I look at my list and I think, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? And then I start feeling anxious. Thank goodness for magnesium and CBD oil, because those have changed my life. But then I start to feel anxious because it feels like it's too much for one person. And you know what that's a symptom of? I didn't do a good job planning. So when we go back and we take a look at why are you overwhelmed in the first place, there are usually several reasons. And I'm going to give you like a 3-step process that will help you really determine why you're overwhelmed in the first place and how to get yourself into a situation that you won't be overwhelmed in the future. So, oh my gosh, I see Mia and Helen and Spring in the chats here. Thank you so much. And I'll address some of your things that you're sharing in just a little bit. But let's back up and say, if you needed to create your life so you weren't as overwhelmed, how would we do it? Well, the first thing is we need to strategize. You need to get crystal clear on the system that you're going to use, the thing that you're going to do to grow your business. That may mean going back and getting clarity on your offer, like you're talking about, Spring. That may mean going back and making sure you have a really crystal clear client attraction code statement. That may mean going backwards. But to get really clear on what is the strategy and what are all the things that you need to do to get there. And I will tell you, one of the biggest reasons a lot of coaches and holistic practitioners get overwhelmed is they are listening to too many different experts, as you say, Spring. If you are out there like dabbling in a bunch of the free stuff that's available out there, you're not getting a complete system with all the templates and all the details. Or maybe you are studying with a mentor, doing a program, and you're not really clear on the steps that you should be taking. We really want it to occur like a checklist, right? Of like, do this and then do this and do this and then do this. And so if you don't have that, I suggest you get it. And I suggest you get really clear, like go interview business coaches and mentors, go do your vetting and go figure out who you want to study with and go deep. You're going to do a lot more by going deep with one set of systems that are going to really support you with all the templates and all the details, because I'll tell you, if you aren't getting the details right, you're not going to get the results that you need. So get the support that you need. That's super, super important. And so then we get a clear strategy. I will tell you here at Thrive, when I was talking about creating that plan for you, I'd have you get your code. I'd have you understand our heart selling templates and our consultation, our Get Clients Free consultation formula, and dancing with concerns, like really get those as the foundation. And then I would say, all right, let's put you into a challenge. You know, we do these regular challenges here at Thrive Academy that we offer to our members. Let's put you in a challenge and let's have you taking the actions that are going to get you clients. And what are those actions? Well, there are 3 different strategies. Basically, if you're a coach or holistic practitioner, there are 3 different ways that you are going to attract clients. It's either going to be through content, email marketing, social media marketing, or it's going to be through referrals and JVs, or it's going to be through events, and those could be online or in person. And we say, pick your strategy. Which one are you going to use? And then go deep with that. And if you stay focused on that plan, you will do well. You got to stay focused on that plan. And then once you've got mastery and the wheels are turning and things are going, maybe you add another thing, you know? For me, when I first started my business it was 2002 when I got my acupuncture license and my coaching certification. And we did not have social media back then. As a matter of fact, phones were such a burden. They were so burdensome, you didn't send a text, you know, because it was just such a hassle. So if you wanted to meet people, you had to go places and meet people, and you had to ask for referrals and follow up with those folks and make those phone calls. And that's what I did. I went out and I met people. And there was a point where I was going to, I did not have enough connections to potential clients. There was a point where I was going to a networking event 4 to 5 times a week here in Santa Cruz County, because I needed to meet people and I needed to have more potential clients and potential referral partners to talk to. So that was what I did, and I worked it and I hustled, and I don't recommend that for anybody. going to events is really powerful and definitely recommend it, but we're in a situation, at least here in California, where it's a little harder to get out to events where there are plenty of people to meet. So you just got to pick your strategy. And so then once we have that like strategize, then we have our plan. And when you have your plan and you work your plan and you don't get distracted by, bright, shiny objects and other ideas, you're going to do a better job doing that plan full out than dabbling in a bunch of other things. And this is an interesting thing because as a coach or holistic practitioner, somebody who said, yeah, I want to start my own business, I want to be in business for myself, we tend to be more spontaneous people, more impulsive people. Would you agree? Does that sound right to you? Do you find yourself being a little bit impulsive? And when you are a more impulsive person, it's so easy to get distracted by everything that's out there. And that's why I think it's so crystal clear to put the blinders on and work your plan. Work your plan. So we create our clear strategy, and then we create our plan, and then it's about focus. It's about focus. So every day, creating that focus for yourself. What are the 3 actions I'm going to take today to move me toward my vision, to work my plan? And when you follow that system of, creating, strategizing, getting really clear about how you're going to grow your business, how you're going to get clients, creating your plan, and then focusing by working your plan, you will find yourself not being in as much overwhelm. Now, the exception here is when you try to do too much in too short of a period of time. And this usually happens because you've put yourself in a precarious situation where if you don't get these results in your business, you're stressed out, right? And because the money's not going to be there, you're not going to be able to pay the bills or whatever. So I will tell you that you have to really check in with your personality type, and you have to really check in with the level of risk tolerance that you have. If you are somebody who has a high level of risk tolerance and you're ready to go and jump off the diving board, go full out for it, I say all the power to you. But then you've got to really use your time. You've got to really, really super focus on the activities that are going to move you toward your goal, which is to get clients. So that, you've got to work your plan if that is the case. And I'm actually curious if you're here with me, and actually I love it when you let me know #live, you're here live, or #replay. When you're here, let me know if you're here. But I am curious, if you said 10 is high risk level and 1 is low risk level, where do you fall on that spectrum? 1 to low risk, one to low risk level, 10 to high risk level. So if you are somebody who is a 10 high risk level, and I am, just so you know personally, I have very, very high tolerance to risk. I was the type of person that I was working in banquets. I had been a bartender or a server for a cocktail waitress, the whole bit, from the time I was 16 years old until I was 29, when I finally got out of college and got my master's degree. And I was so done having a job, and I just had such a high risk tolerance that I was I'm going to find a way. I don't care. I'm not going to keep doing the job thing. I'm going to do my business full time. And you know what? I made that commitment, and I hustled, and I worked my plan, and I was I'm going to do whatever it takes. But not everybody has that kind of personality. I'm a determined, tenacious, and I did a ton of training and coaching to grow my leadership skills so I could be that kind of person that is unstoppable. So, but that may not be you. You may be someone that is okay, I know I need to work through a lot of my personal barriers to relating to other people. I know I have trauma. I know I have some things that are getting in my way, and I need to go a little slower. If that is you and you have that lower risk tolerance, then it's totally fine to go slower. If that's you, get a job, do the work part-time, and, do your business part-time and take your time, go a little slower. It's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with either end of the spectrum. You just have to know yourself in that way. And Stephanie says that you are a risk at a level 10. So you're like, I'm fully going for it. So I love it. I love it. And Spring says, I'm very quick start. It's really, really common. But you have to know if you're going to do that thing where you're jumping off the diving board into the deep end, and you need to either have like a savings plan so you can give yourself time to work your plan, because a lot of people think it's going to happen like that, and it can happen fast, but it usually depends on how much you've put in getting in there. I think you see people where it's like, hey, overnight success, and some people do really, really well quickly. Like somehow they land on the right niche. They figure out their code statement really quickly. They start getting the hard selling templates, and they're just somebody that's like, hey, I'm gonna just really, really fully focus. And maybe they don't have children, or they don't have, people in their life that their relationships just require time and attention. Maybe they can be so fully dedicated to their business. And, I will tell you, when I launched my business, I didn't have kids. It was me and Jess, and I had a lot of time. And you have to take a look. If I had had kids first, it would have been a different story, because kids just take a lot of time, right? They just do. Or maybe you have, elderly parents. You really have to really create your plan based on reality. What is the reality of your circumstances? And then with the time you have to be super efficient. And I will tell you that if you are all over the place, getting distracted, trying all the bright, shiny objects, trying to do too much in too little time, then it's going to be overwhelming. So these are some things that we can do. So we talked about asking yourself that question, like a quick way to get out of overwhelm fast is that asking yourself that question, what can I do? Like, what can I prioritize? Like, what's the one thing I can do right now that will move me closer to getting a client, right? That question always helps me. It's like, okay, if I look at my whole list, what's the one thing I'm going to do today that's actually going to make the biggest difference? And then I ask myself that question again once I get that thing done. So that helps me prioritize and focus. And then the second way is to really do create your strategy, create your plan, and focus and work your plan. You might be noticing a pattern here about focusing. It's the biggest thing to get out of overwhelm. And then when we take a look at, what is it going to take to really get you, and I just want to take a look at some of these. This is a popular topic, by the way. I love that you're all here and rocking it out here. I see, Jorna, you say that you are number 1 on risk tolerance, so lower level to risk tolerance, which is good to know about yourself, and then you want to take it slow. Stephanie, you're saying, I'm jumping off the deep end, but I know it would be smart to have some floaties with me. So even though my mind says 10, it's honestly more like a 5. Really, really great knowing about, knowing this of yourself. And I love it. And so, this is, you've got a few things to get you out of overwhelm. One other thing that I do when I just find myself, and I guess it depends on how you experience overwhelm, but for me, I get a lot of anxiety if I have too much going on. And I really start to take a look at who can help me with this. Who could help me with this? In my case, a lot of times it's my team, or it could be my business mentor, your coach. Could be my husband to help me talk things out. And if I don't have that clarity, sometimes just stepping away and going and getting fresh air, going and getting some exercise will help clear my mind so I can be focused. Because I find, and this is really something, it could take 10 minutes, like go for a walk for 10 minutes, come back with fresh eyes and fresh ears and your brain having more oxygen, and that can help you get that clarity. At the end of the day, when it comes to overwhelm, you're trying to do too much too soon. You haven't created a plan, and you're not working your plan. And you're not prioritizing. You've got this long list of things to do. And I know from experience, but you got a long list of things to do. And rather than working your plan and getting the feedback and adjusting as you go and getting that mentorship and support, you're trying to do it on your own and you're trying to figure it out. So, because I will say this, the reality is that when you are trying to launch your business and you're trying to get from that $0 to $10,000 a month level, you are going to have a lot to do. It's just the way it goes. And it's probably going to take more time than you wish it did. I know that when I first signed up with the coach who told me if I had 100 sales conversations in a week, that within 90 days I would triple my income. That's the promise he made to me. And the first 60 days, it didn't go that well. And it was extremely disappointing, and I was really counting on that to be different and better than it was. And somehow things always work out. Have you ever noticed that? Somehow they all work out. But when I noticed that, I just really like cleared out my mind, and, and I kept taking action, and I kept getting better at the action I was taking. So part of why I got the results I did, I went from $1,800 a month to $5,400 in that last 30 days. Not only did I download the 5 elements of heart selling model and started using that, but I also got better at what I was doing. I became more effective. And so what happens over time is, like, every time we're launching something, it's going to take longer than we think to master it. And it's going to take longer to do the thing, to get good at it. So for example, a heart selling conversation. When I was first trying to grow my business, it would take 2 hours of conversations to get a client. Really inefficient, took a long time, but I kept doing it and I got more and more masterful, and it took less time. So remember, everything is going to take longer than you think it is. It's going to take you time to master it and to learn it and to get good at it, and to get the feedback and, in real time. Hang in there. Give yourself a plan so that you have the spaciousness to not have to feel like you're doing everything all at once. And then you have these little tricks, like in the moment of like taking, getting a fresh perspective by getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, doing something like that, as well as asking yourself this question of, if there was one thing I could do that would move me closer to attracting clients right now, what would it be? So I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. Let me know in the chat what are you going to do differently as a result of being here today. And if you're a thriver, if you're already a thriver, you know how we recommend that you do it, that you at least put aside an hour a day to work on your business, and over time that all adds up. But those, the 4 categories that we give you as a thriver, those are the things that are going to really move you forward. But I'd love to hear from you and let me know what was your biggest takeaway from today. All right, until next time, this is Charlotte Jacobs signing off. Keep your eyes open for an announcement about something super exciting that is coming up on Tuesday. If you want to get more referrals, you're going to want to keep your eyes open and watch this group, because I'll make that special announcement very, very soon. All right. Lots of love to you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.